Let's dive straight into this explainer on capturing absolute broadcast quality recordings of your gongs, singing bowls, and, any resonant metal instruments. If you've ever listened back to a take and just thought, man, that doesn't sound anything like it did in the room, well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to completely rethink how we capture sound today.
So, right off the bat, here's our first major paradigm shift. You've got to stop treating your gongs like a rock drum kit and start treating them like a symphony orchestra. Think about it. With a rock band, mics are jammed right up against the drum heads, right? It gives you that super tight but honestly kind of artificial sound. But for gongs, we're going for that vast, natural openness.
Quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll be hitting 1. The symphony approach. 2. Listening to the room. 3. Essential recorders and tech. 4. Stereo mic configurations. And finally, 5. Conquering live and outdoor settings. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1, the symphony approach, capturing the movement of air.
The absolute crucial point here is that true acoustic beauty actually happens in the space between the instrument and the microphone. You have to literally let the sound breathe. I mean, think about it. Nobody listens to a gong by pressing their ear an inch away from the metal. The real magic happens as those frequencies interact with the air in the room. If you place a mic excessively close, you're only going to capture that harsh surface impact, and you'll completely miss out on that gorgeous, blooming resonance that we all love.
Moving right along to Section 2, listening to the room, interacting with your acoustic space.
This step-by-step process is all about forcing yourself to rely on your ears before you even touch a piece of gear. Have a friend strike your instruments or, do it yourself and literally walk around the room. Just listen. Ask yourself, where does the tone actually sound the most natural and balanced? That is your sweet spot, and that's exactly where your microphone needs to go. Usually this means pulling the mic way back, at least 1 to 2 feet or sometimes even up to 8 feet away. You've got to give those massive, complex sound waves the physical space they need to fully develop.
And hey, once you find that absolute perfect spot in your studio, mark it. Grab some floor tape and put markers right at the base of your mic stand. It's such a simple, brilliant little hack, but it means you'll literally never have to guess during future sessions. You lock in that sweet spot once, and it ensures absolute consistency whether you're recording today, next week, or, 6 months down the line.
Okay, Section 3, Essential Recorders and Tech, solving the dynamic clipping problem.
Now, if you've ever had a beautiful recording completely ruined by a sudden, incredibly loud gong strike that just distorted the audio to pieces, listen up. 32-bit float technology is the absolute magic solution you have been waiting for. These instruments have massive, dynamic ranges. 32-bit float actually allows your recorder to capture the quietest, most subtle bowl hums without any noise, while at the exact same time, effortlessly handling those powerful, roaring gong strikes without any clipping whatsoever. You can literally just fix the volume in post-production. It's an absolute game changer.
To pull this off, matching high-end digital recorders with sturdy, reliable stands is key. Devices like the Zoom H6, the H8, or the Tascam X8 are highly recommended for this. Always, always make sure you're recording in uncompressed wave formats to keep that quality pristine. And please, do yourself a favor and invest in a really solid microphone stand, like a Hercules. Don't trust your expensive gear to a flimsy $20 stand, right?
Let's move on to Section 4, Stereo Mic Configurations, the micro adjustments for perfect imaging.
So looking at our options here, this breaks down your 2 main stereo configurations. If you want a highly focused, really direct sound, the XY configuration, that's where the mic capsules cross at a 90-degree angle, is totally your go-to. But if you're looking for a wider, much more natural emulation of human hearing, you'll want to check out the ORTF or nose configurations. These space the microphones apart and angle them outward, usually around 110 degrees or so. And it gives you this insanely gorgeous, wide sense of the room's natural acoustics.
Now we need to consider the vertical axis. If your setup includes both elevated hanging gongs and floor-level instruments like crystal bowls, finding that perfect vertical middle ground is absolutely essential. A mic height of around 2.5 to 5 feet usually splits the difference pretty perfectly. But for a really advanced setup, you might want to use separate layers of microphones entirely. One set elevated for the gongs and another placed lower down to intimately capture those bowls on the floor. Also, remember that in a studio setting, shock mounts are literally your best friend. They suspend your microphone in this little elastic web, and this is critical, guys, because it stops heavy footsteps, passing trucks, or just deep floor rumbles from traveling right up the metal stand and totally ruining your pristine audio take.
Finally, let's hit Section 5,
Conquering Live and Outdoor, the real-world survival guide. When you're out there dealing with a live audience, placing your mics high up and out of the way is your ultimate defense mechanism. First things first, tuck your mic stands into discreet, protected locations, like right beside a pillar so nobody accidentally kicks the whole thing over. Then, you want to elevate those microphones to approximately 7 to 8 feet in the air. Pointing them slightly downward from that height significantly reduces the sound of shuffling feet, random coughing, and just general audience noise, while still perfectly capturing the room's overall vibe. And whether you're fighting a sudden HVAC system indoors or a random breeze outdoors, wind protection is 100% mandatory. I mean, imagine having the perfect take ruined just because an air conditioning vent was blowing straight down onto your capsule. No way. Always use a foam cover, or even better, a fuzzy dead cat windscreen. It literally takes 5 seconds to slip on, and it saves entire recordings from sounding like you're inside a wind tunnel.
That is the exact number of USB power banks you need to strap to your mic stand with a piece of Velcro to ensure uninterrupted power during a long performance. Seriously, never rely on sketchy wall outlets if you can avoid it, and definitely do not trust standard AA batteries to last through a 3-hour gong bath. A simple rechargeable USB power bank strapped right to the stand is going to run your digital recorder cleanly and safely all day long.
And for all you solo performers out there, using a Bluetooth app is a massive game changer. Devices like the Tascam X let you monitor and adjust your recording levels right from your smartphone or tablet. So you can sit down on your playing cushion, test the gongs, look at your phone sitting right there on your mallet tray, adjust the gain, and hit record. All without ever having to get up and disrupt the flow of your performance space. How cool is that? So, armed with this whole macro to micro understanding of acoustic capture, it is time to take action. Stop close miking. Start finding that sweet spot in the room. Protect your gear, and above all, let the air breathe. How are you going to shift your recording paradigm and redesign your physical space for your very next gong session? Think about it. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep experimenting, keep listening, and until next time, happy recording.